welcome to another episode of Act Like an Author, Think Like a Business. I know it looks like I have a script in front of me today, but I don't. I am so winging it because it's been a minute since I've done an episode, and I said, you know what? I don't want to get distracted or delayed or interrupted by trying to do a script and get all fancy and organized and all that good stuff. So I'm kind of sort of winging it today. I actually just presented at a workshop in Dayton, Ohio, the I Write Workshop. It was myself, Grammy-nominated songwriter Darrell Mays, New York Times best-selling author J.L. King, author of On the Down Low. And it was just an amazing, amazing time. And I was taking notes and trying to stay on course. You know how I do. I'm just bursting at the seams with information so I can kind of veer off course, but I always find my way back. But if I can stay on course, I will try. But what I wanted to do is just share some notes that I took that I wanted to share and that I did share with the attendees of the I Write Workshop, which was actually produced by Mo Red Production. Great job, Mo Red Production. It was awesome. So I'm off script. I don't know what I usually say. You know what I usually say. Go back and watch some of the episodes if you want to hear that, standard general script. Oh, yeah. I am your host, Joy Lynn Ross, literary consultant, literary concierge, all that good stuff. Yes, that's me. Hopefully you know who I am by now. If not, go back. Captured past episodes of Act Like an Author, Think Like a Business. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and don't miss a single episode, because my goal, my mission is to keep authors from leaving money on the table and maybe going back and getting some of that money that they've left, and to keep you from wasting money. So anyway, to my notes on what I went over today at the I Write Workshop. What you can publish, because it's not just books that are being published anymore. As a matter of fact, do you know low content is really huge right now? And when I talk about low content, I'm talking about journals, planners, workbooks, inspirationals, devotionals, low content. You know what? You could even publish a deck of cards. You could publish your poetry. You could publish songs. You could greeting cards. There's so much cookbooks, recipe books. I mean, the list goes on and on, to the point where the question should be, what can't you publish? So you can publish a variety of things. So you don't have to just have your mindset of wanting to become a published author. You have to write some full-length novel or some nonfiction memoir or business book. There's so much you can do. Whatever you can turn into intellectual property and put it in print, that's what you can publish. So why should you write and publish? Other than the tongue, the pen is the most powerful force you can utilize to get your message across. Let me say that again. Other than the tongue, the pen is the most powerful force you can use to get your message across. And I have children who are in school, and STEM's really big, love STEM, but at the end of the day, you have to be able to communicate. Communication, no matter what you're going to do in life, you have to be able to communicate. The power of the pen. Okay, why should you not publish what you write? I know a lot of times people tell you why you should publish, why you should self-publish. There's all these wonderful reasons why. Well, I'm going to give you a reason why you shouldn't. You don't have the time, you don't have the money, you don't have the passion. Yes, to manifest a dream, to bring a dream into fruition, to make it a reality, it takes faith, but it also takes money. Yes, it takes favor and blessings, but it also takes money. But you can save. Remember that suit or that purse or that pair of shoes that you didn't have the money for and you had to put it in layaway? Put your book in layaway if that's what you have to do. Take a certain amount of money out of paycheck, if somebody gives you a gift for your birthday, whatever it may be, and set it aside for your business. Put your book in layaway. Put your life in layaway. Put your business on layaway. But you should not write and publish anything that you don't have the time to put your time your efforts and your dollars behind. You have to invest in your book. How can you expect other people to invest in your book if you're not willing to invest in your book? So that's why you shouldn't self-publish. But if you're all for it, if you're ready for the ride, if you're ready to start your own business, because writing a book is a passion, maybe even your ministry, but selling a book is a business. So you will be running a business. You will be a publisher once you publish a book. Okay, anyway, moving on. What else did I talk about today in the I Write workshops? When it comes to your book, well, actually, when it comes about you, your book business, whatever you're doing with that message you have, it's not about you. It's not about your book. It's not even about your message in the book. It's about what you, your book, and your message can do for other people. What can your book message you do for a person and their issues, their problems, their wants, their needs? I see people complaining all the time about social media and how people put all their business and all their problems on social media. Well, someone like me who's business minded, that doesn't bother me. I'll never complain about people going on social media and airing their issues, airing their problems, because in my line of work and what I want to do, I want to help solve problems. So if I can find out through social media what issues people are dealing with, what problems are people dealing with, and I can create an antidote and then sell it, no complaints here. So instead of complaining that people are putting too much of their business and their problems and all their issues on social media, try helping. Maybe you have a message, a product, a thought, a concept, idea where you can help them. So if you're one of those people who complain about it, think again, especially if you are an entrepreneur, you do business. People want answers. People want help. And that is why most people are putting their issues out there. They want someone to relate. Misery loving company isn't always a bad thing. People want to know that they're not alone. Maybe you've been where someone else has been, and maybe you have it in here, and maybe you have it in here, or just this gut instinct to help someone. Put it in print, put it on paper, put it in a song, put it on poetry. Do what you need to do with it. Just create the antidote. Create the prescription that they need to cure that issue, that thing. Bottle it up and sell it. If you bottle it up and sell it in a book, wonderful, because that's what I'm here to talk about, book business. Okay, what else? Okay, you're not just an author. You are a messenger. So remember, it's your job to be the person who delivers the antidote, the prescription that's ailing someone. So, time management. We talked about time management, and everybody knows that I prefer time management over balance, because balancing is wobbly. Balance, it kind of looks like this. Think of the toddler learning how to walk. That's balancing. I don't want my life to look like that. I already feel like my life looks like that sometimes. I don't want it to actually look like that. And when you're talking about balance, you're talking about some sort of equal distribution. And in my life, no task is created equal. No task requires the same amount of attention. So like I always say, I don't cook with a measuring cup. I'm not going to live by a measuring cup. I'm not measuring, balancing, no equal distribution. Time management. Pick the right times to work. Minimize interruptions. Do what you need to do. Turn the cell phone off. Don't turn the notifications off, the email notifications, all that good stuff. I know what I need to be creative. I absolutely do not check text messages. I do not check my emails. I do not go on social media when I'm trying to be creative, because someone may say something that just totally throws me off my game. You can't always determine tones when they're written down. So someone may say something that, makes you cringe or, upsets you. Well, that could just totally throw off your creativity work mode. So pick the right time to work. I try not to work when I know my kids are going to start fouling in from school, because then you have to stop working. And creative people know that creativity doesn't know the days of the week. Creativity doesn't care about the days of the week. Creativity doesn't care about time. Creativity doesn't care about your husband, your wife, your kids. Creativity just wants to flow. It wants out. You are its voice, and it doesn't care about life, your life, anything going on. It just wants out. If you're a fiction writer, your characters, they don't care about anything else going on. They want you to tell their story. They want you to tell their story now. So the last thing you want to do is get in creative mode when you know the kids are about to start piping in. Because what happens? You're at the computer, kid walks in, wants to tell you about their lovely day, and then you ruin your lovely day because you say, what do you want? It's not really you talking. It's that inner character that you know, I don't know if anybody else does that, but I become my character. My characters are me, and you know, they're just inside and says, oh, that wasn't Mommy, that was Paige, or that was Clark, or that was Harlem, you know. So you know what I'm talking about. If you're that fiction writer and your characters are just, did somebody just interrupt me? So your kids are already, your family, I'm sure, dealing with the fact that, you know, you're giving your book business a lot of time and a lot of attention, because you have to do that, and they just don't get it. For some people, it doesn't matter how long you've been doing this thing, it's still a hobby in your family's eyes. You know, it's just this thing that she does in the basement on her computer or up in the den or whatever. It's just some hobby. Oh yeah, she just does a little writing. This isn't a little writing. This is a business. I know I'm talking to somebody out there who's watching this. So yes, this is a business. But if you want people to recognize that your writing is a business, you have to treat it like a business as well. So you can't just stop on the phone in the middle of the writing and get the latest gossip. You can't just stop and run somebody to the grocery store to pick up their car from the dealership or whatever it is. You have to say, I'm working right now, or don't even answer the phone. Set office hours for yourself and for certain individuals. You know what certain individuals are bringing. They call and you see their name on a caller ID and it's like, oh geez, here they go. Give them a time. Don't let them call or even pick up the phone and talk to them when you know it's time for you to be creative, and you can get distracted and they're going to talk on and on and on, and it's hard to cut them off and it's hard to get off the phone, blah, 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 blah. So pick the right time to work, minimize interruptions, create a work schedule. Oh, that is so much easier said than done, but sometimes you just really have to force yourself to do that. You have a work schedule if you work outside the home. You know what time you have to clock in, you know what time you have to clock out. So if your work schedule at home means you got to get up an hour earlier at home, or you have to stay up an hour later at night, then that's just your work schedule. But you can't possibly go put in all these hours for somebody else's vision, for somebody else's dream, for somebody else's concept, thought, idea that fits their business, and you don't invest the same. I will not work harder for somebody else's business to get a paycheck than I will work for my own to create a legacy. Okay, because I'm trying to build a literary empire here. So create that work schedule, stay organized. I know there's some of you, my husband can do that. My husband can work in a pig pen. I mean, clutter can be everywhere, snack juice boxes, because you know when you're really in creative mode, you don't eat healthy sometimes. You don't eat the full course meal, the healthy round. You got Cheeto bags and Snickers and Pepsi cans or whatever it is. And he can work in that. I absolutely cannot work in clutter. Everything has to be in order. My desk has to be clear and clean. My writing cave is in my basement, so if I walk through the kitchen to get my morning cup of coffee and I see things discombobulated, or I see this plate or something in the sink, I go downstairs, I sit at my desk, and that plate in the sink is in my head. It's just blocking my creativity. I mean, that's how bad it gets for me. So stay organized, unless you were just one of those people who work better in clutter. You know, if the clutter motivates you, it makes you feel like, you know, oh, I'm really doing something here. Work in the clutter, but by all means, I am one of those people who I have to stay organized. I have to have my in and out basket. Doesn't that sound so old school? But I have an in and out basket on my desk. I have planners and calendar. I work from so many different ones. I work from the yearly calendar and I break it down into the monthly calendar. Then you have the weekly, then you have the daily, and you can't always stay on schedule, but it's good to have it and try your best to stay on schedule, because again, if you work outside of the home, if you've worked outside of the home, when you checked in that time clock 9 to 5, you had a schedule of things that you had to accomplish. Again, if you could do it for someone else's business, you can do it for your own. Okay, let's see. When you can't find the time, make the time. If you can't make the time, then use whatever time you've got. I've had to drop my kids off at events where they had to go in, and maybe it's a couple of hours so you could go back home and come back and get them. Not me. My work is in the car, my laptop is in the car, my tablet's in the car, I got a book, I got a manuscript, I got something. I'm making use out of that time. If I'm in the doctor's office as I'm waiting, if that's the time that I have, then that's all the time I have. I'm going to use that time. So if you don't have time, make time. If you can't even make time, use the time you have. There's something that you can do. There's always some traffic. The next time you won't be fussing and cussing if you're stuck in traffic. If you got work in the car, if you got a book, because if you're an author, that's the way we study our craft. We read. Keep book in your car. Whip out that book and read while you're in traffic. You know, and if the guy behind you blow, that means traffic's moving. So that's a good thing too. So if you can't make the time, then use whatever time you've got. Okay, being a writer doesn't mean you have to write constantly. When I first started writing, I felt like, if I'm a real writer, I need to be always writing. Whenever anybody sees me, I need to be writing. I don't care if it's on a napkin, whatever it is. I'm going to be writing. No, you don't have to write constantly. But I do suggest you write every day. You stay in the flow with that. You keep it moving. If you take a break or a long pause, I don't know if you record, have DVR. I've recorded shows and I started watching it, and it's been a while till I can get back to it to finish watching it, and I have no idea. I can't remember. I can vaguely remember things, but I have to start the entire movie over and watch it. That's kind of like how it will go down with a book if you don't write every day. So try to write every day, just to keep your skills sharpened and to keep your story flowing, your message flowing, or whatever that thing is. Okay, let's see. Another thing we talked about was getting books into the bookstores. I'm just so surprised this week when I learned that there are a great deal of self-published authors out there who have not tackled distribution. They have not tackled getting distributors for their book, wholesalers, getting their book into libraries, getting their book into bookstores, getting their book into retailers, getting your book into your local Walmart and grocery store. It is not as hard as you think it is. Trust me, I have done this thing. So what I am just ecstatic about is that Path to Publishing, where I am an online course instructor, they have this new package, this new service. It's called Print Distribution Assistance on a Silver Platter, something like that. But it's a package where it gives you everything you need to get your book into the hands, onto the desk, for distributors to consider distributing your book, for libraries, for bookstores, for retailers. Because I know a lot of people say, I don't have time to spend hours searching, finding, for one, all the different distributors, all the different bookstores, all the different libraries, where I should be selling my book outside of bookstores. Because I'm telling you, there are tons of places you should be selling your book outside of just bookstores. The same way there are way more people you should be selling your book to than just readers. You have to make people into readers sometime. So the package they have to offer is amazing. I'm trying to think of the website by heart. It's where you can go check out the package. It's I don't have to have it by heart. It's right here. Go to www.squareup.com/market/writings-by-joy. So that's www.squareup.com/market/by-joy. So definitely visit and check out that service, as well as some other amazing services that self-published authors should definitely be taking advantage of. So if you're only selling your book in ebook, come on, you're leaving money on the table. We don't do that when we're acting like a business. So check out that package. But back to what I was saying, faithful notes. You guys know I need to stay on track. I can go on. I'm back. It's about more than getting your book into stores. It's about getting them out of stores. Yes, I love it. I love walking into Walmart, Sam's Club, Kmart, Target, the local grocery store. I love walking in there and seeing my book, the Barnes & Nobles, the Book A Million, the library. I love walking in there and seeing my book on the shelf. But I love it even more when they move off the shelf. So again, it's not just about getting the books into the stores. It's about getting them out of the stores. It's about getting them off the shelves. And be patient. While in hustle mode, you're more focused on trying to get readers and customers. But while in business mode, you are more focused on trying to keep customers and readers. And that all comes with a relationship. I always say there's like 4 ingredients that you must have when building your business, and that's networking, connections, relationships, and partnerships. You definitely want to build a relationship with your consumers, clients, customers, readers. You definitely want to build that. Like I said, in hustle mode, you're just going. I want to get readers. I want to get customers. I want to get clients. But when you get to business mode, it's really about keeping them. Great customer service, letting them know that you're more interested in them than trying to get them interested in you. So those are just a few things that we went over at the I Write workshop today. That was in Dayton, Ohio. Today's April 22nd, 2017. I am so dating this, but I think the date goes on it anyway when you upload it. But I never want to look back at this and be like, ooh, April 22nd, 2017, I only weighed such and such pounds. I am just kidding. That is just so personal. But we do it all the time. It's like, oh my goodness, look how good I looked. That wasn't too humble, was it? Well, I hope I look good. I can't see myself, and I don't have my glasses. I don't have a mirror. But anyway, I've just totally dated this episode, which is okay. So yes, anyway, it was a wonderful, wonderful workshop. I could not wait to get back and share. I didn't want to do a quick VIP while I'm standing up and, going 90 miles per hour, which I think I'm always going 90 miles per hour because I know time is just like a hot commodity. When I say I don't want you wasting money, I don't want you wasting money doing this self-publishing thing, doing this authorship thing, but I definitely don't want you wasting time. If we lose money, we can figure out how to get it back. I got a case of books I can go, sell, get money back. But time, there is no getting time back. There is nothing we can do about that. So I want to thank you for taking your time to watch another episode of Act Like an Author, Think Like a Business. It has been wonderful sharing. I love sharing. If you haven't already subscribed to the Act Like an Author, Think Like a Business YouTube channel, please do so now. I don't want you to miss a single episode because I don't want you to leave money on the table. I don't want you to waste your time. I don't want you to waste your money. I want you to tune in and get great tips from me that will teach you how to, you guessed it, act like an author, think like a business. So I'll see you next time.